I believe there are 4 stages of financial health, and the goal, wherever you're at right now, is to get to stage 4, which is Thrive. I'm going to talk you through each one of those stages, and up to you to decide where you think you are right now. But I'll give you the explanation and description of what each one of those stages is, and then you can make a decision where you are, and we'll start to build a plan on how we're going to get from wherever you may be down to where we want to be, which is Thrive. Now, those 4 stages of financial health. Number 1, I call barely alive. Now, I hope you're not in barely alive. Barely alive, unfortunately, there's a reasonable amount of population that live there. Barely alive means, as far as I'm concerned, you've got more money going out than you've got coming in on a monthly basis. So for example, and it's irrespective of how much money you earn, maybe you earn $2,000 a month, maybe you earn $10,000 a month. But either way, you've got more going out on a monthly basis than you've got coming in. So what are the key indicators to me that somebody's got more going out than they've got coming in? Number 1, nice and simple. If I see somebody racking up large amounts of credit card debt, taking on big loans in order to sustain their current lifestyle, then I know you've probably got more going out than you've got coming in. So maybe you're earning $2,500 after tax, but you're paying out $3,000. And so you're using credit cards or whatever else to get your holiday, to get your TV, to get your food shopping. And over time, as you can imagine, that's a pretty unsustainable place to be. So barely alive, we definitely don't want to be there. Now, I think the majority of the population live here, which is survive. Survive means you pretty much got the same amount of money going out on a monthly basis that you've got coming in. So maybe you're on that $2,000 a month after tax, and you've got $2,000 by the time you paid your mortgage or your rent, and by the time you covered your bills and your food and whatever else, you have cleared out or depleted all of the money you just got paid, and you're waiting for that next pay slip. And so you're living month to month. Now, most of the population, unfortunately, lives in that space that I call survive. Now, that space is a risky place to be, because most people in survive, if they went 3 months without an income, or maybe the boiler broke down, the car broke down, or they've got some significant expense they've got to take on, they're going to be under financial strain or financial difficulty. So we really don't want to be in there. Anyone who's in survive will know exactly what I mean when I say that sometimes you might have a little bit too much month left at the end of your money. So the goal then that we really want to work towards first and foremost is to get into Strive. So Strive for me, and these are my definitions, my model, Strive for me is when you have at least matched your current level of income with your passive income, with your investment income, with your side hustle, with your business income, whatever it may be. So let's say, for example, you're working in a job, you're clearing £4,000 after tax, that's what you take home. And outside of your business, you start to invest in something else, or maybe you set up a side hustle and you start earning cash outside of your business. The moment that the cash that you're earning outside, particularly if it's passive, so particularly if you're going into the realms of property investing or something along those lines, the moment you've replaced that primary income with that side income, that I would define as being in Strive. And just for clarity, because a lot of people say, oh, Steve, I know you're into taking massive action. I know you're a man who's, talks about let's get out there, let's do it, let's go all in. And I think and I've had this a few times, and people say to me, I know you're going to say to me, just quit my job and just go for this business, go for this property, go for whatever it is. And just to be clear, I'll take this moment to be 100% crystal clear, that's absolutely not what I'm saying. Do not give in your notice if you're in barely alive or survive. Do not go and sack the boss on Monday morning. Don't even think about it until you're in Strive. And then I would only think about it. Personally, I think you're a lot safer when you get into Thrive. Now, Thrive would be at the point when you're achieving multiples of your current income outside of your current employment. So for example, if you're currently clearing £3,000 after tax, Thrive is when you're clearing 12,000, 9,000. You're achieving multiples of that income. At that point, it actually starts to make less sense to stay in that primary job unless it's particularly a job that you're passionate about, that you love and that you want to be there. But the reality is 87% of people don't enjoy their job. Now that's a sad place to be. So we want to, if you're passionate about it and you want to do it because you want to do it, that's fine. I'm fine with voluntary work because I love what I do, but don't do it because you feel that you have to do it. But don't sack the boss until you're at a minimum of Strive. If you badly need to sack that boss, but ideally in Thrive. And this is what I did. So 12 years ago, I left the fire service. I was there for several years. Some of you will already know my story. The moment that I decided to leave the fire service was when I was in Thrive, and I was achieving multiples of my salary from the fire service outside of the fire service, from my property, from my various businesses that I was running at the time. At that point, I decided it made logical sense to transition because I was very confident that I was going to be financially secure. Remember, the whole goal here is to build financial stability. The whole goal here is to be financially robust. Hence, I don't want to do anything that's reckless or make any crazy decisions. But this is the 4 stages of financial health. So barely alive, again, hope nobody's there, but that is when you're spending more than you're making. You've got more going out than you've got coming in. That is totally unsustainable. If you're there, you need to put the brakes on the spending. You need to really evaluate where we're going to get some extra income in and fast. Survive is where I think most of the population live. Every month they get their money, they spend their money, they wait for that money to replenish, they spend the money, and that's unfortunately keeps you in that trap. And then we really want to get moving into Strive. Again, that's matching your income outside of your main employment and ultimately into Thrive. At that point, I would believe that you're going to end up going and doing your own thing permanently. And when you do go and do your own thing permanently, if you've waited until you got to Thrive, you're never going to have to go backwards. I never, ever, at any point, had to consider going back to an employment over the last 12 years. Not once have I ever thought, oh, I might have to go and get a job to cover the bills, because I made sure that I was financially robust before I made that transition. So that's the 4 stages of financial health. Hopefully that's valuable for you to give you a bit of an illustration and start to consider where you're at and how we're going to start getting to the next phases. Let's make the rest of your life the best of your life. If you like this content, if you like learning more about wealth creation, about improving your life, about looking after your finances and how you're going to achieve that, then just click the like button, click the subscribe button. It helps to grow the channel, show you more of this content, and also show other people more of this content, because I truly believe that financial education should be accessible to everyone. Thank you guys.